Hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today we are looking at Taboo Tattoo episode 7. So, guys and girls, I don't want to make a whole bunch of apologies and excuses from not having this up yesterday. Life happens. Unfortunately, some stuff happens once in a while. It kind of gets in your way of reviewing stuff. If you're a YouTuber reviewer, you know this happens, unfortunately. But I will give kind of a thing for anyone who does watch this, kind of a little bit of inside knowledge here. I am going to be doing a top 10 action series type thing today, which is my top 10 personal choices for action, anime, and stuff like that. So definitely go check that out. I'm not going to put that on Twitter, so this way just anyone who's looking at the Taboo Tattoo review actually knows, hey, that's a top 10's coming out today, so that's kind of cool. So that's my apology and my way of kind of giving you guys some reward for putting up my, I say, tardiness in this case. Anyways, let's talk about this episode, though, because this is an interesting episode, to say the least. So we have Sege and the team actually going to an island, which apparently they found where this is where Kingdom is currently operating. The princess is, as we know from last episode, inside a ruin, which is the tattoo ruin, excuse me. And in this tattoo ruin, she is like assimilating with it for maybe something like that. They have not explained that fully yet, so I'm very curious to see what that really is when she goes inside of them, and kind of takes the power. Maybe that's a possibility. It looked like assimilation, I'll be honest with you. But we meet several members of the cast of new characters and stuff like that. I'll tell you right now, don't get used to any of them because for the most part, all of them are dead by the end of this episode. I'll tell you that right now because they're killed by this woman right here, Car, who I gotta admit kicks ass. She might be a psychopath, but she kicks ass. Wow. She uses barriers and swordsman skills at the same time, so it cuts opponents down like nothing. And it's really cool and it's pretty interesting. So, perfect example. You see this character right here? Yeah, this guy is Captain Johnson, who was flirting with Segi's, I would say, quote-unquote childhood friend. He's flirting with her, Don't get used to this guy too much, because he seemed like he was interesting in some ways. Yeah, if you can see from this image, which by the way, I kind of blocked out the imagery because it was kind of visceral, but I wanted to show that, hey, he doesn't have a leg to stand on anymore. That was a really bad joke if you think about it. Like, that was messed up. But realistically, Car is just taking down all of the team members in what seems like nothing. She's flying about, slashing up. Meanwhile, Izzy and the captain, or excuse me, Colonel, as he likes to be called, Colonel Sanders, which, come on, man, Colonel Sanders, really? Really? Colonel Sanders. That's some freaking name. Anyways, we have the Colonel dealing with two things. Essentially, one is that the Cheshire Cat has become this literal cat creature thing. She has somehow gained a new power via the ruin, which lets her transform her body into this giant cat. And luckily, he was with her with Segi's childhood friend because he actually helped her survive because the helicopter they were in was attacked by the Cheshire Cat. So, yeah, that was interesting. Meanwhile, the princess is finally assimilated with the ruin. So, regardless of their mission, they've kind of failed. So this is a big FUBAR mission right now. Everyone's failing left to right. Things are just kind of going wrong all over the place. Everyone's dying. It's like, even the Colonel, as he's fighting Car, he loses his arm. She's just too powerful. Him and Izzy try to fight Car together at the same time and do a decent job, an admirable job in many ways, but they just can't handle it. But just as Izzy is about to be struck down by Car, an old familiar face shows up. Blood, yeah, this guy seems like he's just everywhere now all of a sudden, huh? Apparently he was dealing with also using that new program which we saw in the episode 6 near the end of the episode with that weird kind of container unit that he was in, but it seems like he left that unit and went to go try to save everyone. And ironically enough, this is probably the comedy moment of the show, which again, my biggest issue with Taboo Tattoo is this comedy stuff, but I'll talk about the end of the review. Let me continue on with the review because I'm almost done with this. But he saves Izzy, and what's funny is that Car apparently loves blood. She actually says that she's in love with him, and he's like, yeah, I know you are, I can see that, but he holds Izzy, he goes, but this is the girl I love, I take care of her, she's the one for me, and that really pisses off Car, and it looks like there's going to be a giant battle ensuing from these two, and meanwhile the princess is with Segi, and Segi's just getting his ass kicked by the princess. He wasn't doing very much this episode, honestly. He was down within like the first couple minutes of the episode. I'm going to say this right now, I know a lot of people have mixed feelings with Taboo Tattoo, and that's understandable in many ways. Taboo Tattoo is doing many things wrong and a few things right. It's something that it's a good action show. It's got some great martial arts. It's really visceral. It's got some nice animations and art style. I like it. I like the story and concepts behind it. But it's like, again, it's like suffering from identity crisis. It almost wants to be Kenichi's strongest disciple in the sense that it wants to have comedy infused in with the story. And the reason why that doesn't work too well with the show is that the comedy comes at really inopportune moments. You have moments where there's a serious thing going on screen. Like you have Car about to kill Izzy, and she's just killed like half the team members. She's killed 100 soldiers, it seems like, and then all of a sudden she's joking about being in love with blood. I mean, it's an issue I have with this show. It does not know when to kind of separate its kind of comedy and its seriousness. Which one does it want to be? And honestly, that's one of the biggest gripes about the show. And I don't want to rant about the show because I kind of enjoy the show overall. It does remind me a lot of Kenichi's Strongest Disciple, but I just feel that I wish this show would kind of figure out what it wants to do. Does it want to be serious or does it always want to be jokey? And even if some of you might say in the comments, oh, it's trying to be a mix of both. I get that. That's obvious from this, but a mixture of both means you have to have an equal measure of both. Then you can't have serious stuff, murderous stuff, and then all of a sudden comedy. It doesn't work. It works in the sense if you have comedy all the time thrown in there, it's like people are getting chopped in half, but it's kind of funny more so than serious. That works. But in a show like this, it doesn't know what it wants to do. It's annoying the crap out of me. Honestly, like episode 7, I still don't know how I feel about the show. I mean, I like it, but how much do I like it? That's the question of the day. And I mean, I'm going to save my whole review, of course, for the end of the show. But yeah, that's it for my little kind of mini rant. And I'm going to put in the title. I know people are going to get pissed off me seeing that, but I am going to put it in the title because I did rant a little bit with this video. But like I said, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed the review nonetheless. The also mini rant, if you want to call it. Also, remember, check out that top 10 action show, anime show thing that I'm uploading today. It'll probably be up around, I want to say 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, around that. So I want to say around that time, so definitely check out. It's going to have some goodies in there. It's going to probably have some shows that maybe you've heard of, maybe some of you haven't heard of. Who knows? Anyways, guys and girls, I will talk to you later. As always, the whole 9. Hit that like button, subscribe button, share button. Have a great day. Bye-bye.